back to the How's Business podcast. Today we have a pillar of the Rooty Hill community, someone who has made the best coffee, the best cafe in the area for sure. Welcoming Adrian to the podcast. Adrian, how's it going, bro? First question, straight off the bat, bro. How's business?
Actually, it's going really well. I don't know if I should be surprised, but just very happy with how it's traveling now. So yeah, it has gotten a lot better in the last year. It's just nearly doubled. So
yeah,
so happy.
Give me this sort of backwards sort of step here. How did the cafe come to be, and then what made you be like, okay, cafe, it's gotta happen. It's gotta happen right now.
Want the long or short story?
We'll go the medium.
Medium. Basically, I was at a corporate job for 8 years.
Yep.
COVID happened. Started doing. Obviously, we couldn't get coffee in the coffee shops for a while. Bought my own little coffee machine. Never thought I'd be making my own coffee, but I think the love started there. Probably upgraded my machine 4 times in 3 months. I was just that addicted to it. Started doing stuff on Instagram under the handle The Naked Barista. That sort of took off a bit while in COVID, and brands started reaching out. So got offered a job for a company, a barista coffee company, but that didn't last long. So I ended up losing my corporate job, that job, and I was nowhere for like 3 months. And
this was in the heart of COVID?
This was in the heart of COVID, so it was quite tough. I'll admit, I had a few tears.
Yeah,
it was a tough period. But my wife was very supportive and said, let's start a business. And I was like, no way, I'm not starting a business. I know how much work it is. I had one before. And then looked around, thought I'd do a coffee cart. The prices were quite high. And then this spot opened up. And to my surprise, they're offering free rent for the first year. The rent was quite low for the size it was, and it was been vacant for 2 years. So went all in, signed the contracts while in lockdown still, crazy me. And 4 months later, the build was done, COVID opened up, and the rest is history.
What was the sort of thing that made you go like, okay, yeah, I can actually do this? What was the thing that pushed you over the edge? Because you went from corporate, you've done a business before, you've had a bad experience.
Yeah.
What was different this time?
I think the support of my family. I wouldn't have done it without them. They were like 100% behind me. And because it was tough times at the time, like uncertain times. But in my mind, my mindset was like, if I can get out of this COVID period, I think I'd be on a winner. And everything just aligned. With the contracts, the timing, signs.
Yeah.
So everything just aligned, and I knew it was meant to be to get this shop.
The podcast we're doing is like a lot of business owners listen to it. A lot of business owners that have either had a business and failed or started a business and having a tough time. Run us through that sort of initial sort of period of like, okay, branding. How did you come up with like the branding of it all? Yeah. And then straight away, as soon as you walk into your cafe, it has a different feel to it. So did you take like inspiration from different places, or did you have to sort of build the ship or build the plane as it's flying? How did you sort of come up with TNB itself?
Yeah, so whilst in COVID, whilst on Instagram a lot during lockdown, I was looking at a lot of cafes around the world, but the ones that really attracted me were the ones from Korea and Japan. So the number one thing they had was aesthetics. Yeah. And I'm all about aesthetics. If you look at my Instagram page, my Naked Barista page, it's all aesthetics. And that's what I built it off. But I also knew that aesthetics alone wouldn't make you money. So I did want to have a huge focus on coffee, aesthetics, and when you enter, like there is a calmness about it. But I also knew that I needed to make money too, because the area I'm in, people want food as well. So I've sort of had to balance doing a traditional cafe with coffee, specialty coffee. But I've done it with a twist with doing fusion food. So I think that's what's clicked.
What was one of the biggest hurdles when you were opening? Because when we open our centers, there's always something that you never ever even heard of or thought of.
The one thing I regret was doing the build myself.
Okay.
instead of using a contractor that could just handle everything. I think my next cafe, I'll definitely use someone else to just do the whole thing for me. So there were a lot of hurdles in the plumbing, the electricity, compliance. There was a lot. I didn't realize the magnitude of that. But yeah, that was the biggest. So the actual biggest one was the gas. There was no gas line, so we had no food for the first 5 months. So that hurt sales a bit.
Yeah.
But that sort of helped us anyway. So what it meant to be, it helped us build towards that and build my team towards having hot food. But yeah, that was the biggest hurdle.
And you officially opened when? Do you remember? Like
April 2022.
And what was it like making that first coffee, first
man.
customer, first till?
What
Was it like? Run me through the day.
I'll be honest, I cried.
Yeah.
It was a surreal moment that me and my family were able to achieve to get to that point, because I'd never in my wildest dreams would have thought of having a cafe, let alone one this big, and that looked this great. Like I was like, how did we do this? It was, I think that was the moment when we cut the ribbon. Yeah, I broke down a bit, cried, and happy tears of course, but yeah, that was my emotions on the day.
And how soon do you think it took for your business to find its groove? Because you've never run staff, you've never run POS, little things like the machine hasn't been on that long before. Like how long do you think your cafe business and cafes in general need until they're sort of like, okay, we're sort of ready for
I'll be honest,
influx?
it took us a year and a half, nearly 2 years, like probably a year and a half to be honest. I think because when we first opened, I had no idea on expenses, how much staff I'd need, how much stock I'd need, because wages and stock is like the highest.
Yeah.
Not even rent's fine. So they were the challenges, and then just getting the groove of what I need to sell food wise, what this community likes, just finding a groove. It took a year and a half. Once we figured all that out, we started flying, which was good.
I know this might be second nature to you, but for those that are listening, can you run us through how the coffee goes from wherever it's come from to the bags to you making it, and what the sort of pricing is from there? Where do you make your where do you make most of your money as a cafe owner?
Yeah, so coffee directly from the farms. So the middleman, like the third party guys, they source those coffees, and then they present it to the roasters. And then the roasters do their cuppings and tastings of what they want to offer to their wholesale customers, which is us. So they have a lengthy process doing that with single origins. They curate their blends as well to have their own flavour and taste. But they're also, in this area, it's all specialty grade, so they're all rated highly. They have a score, so all the coffees that my roaster gets are all highly scored. So that gives it that specialty label. And for me to make money, I need volume. So we started off 15 to 20 kilos in the first few months to now we're hitting the 50 kilo mark. So volume definitely helps. You need the volume. You need to be able to put out that volume to earn the money. The margins are actually not that great. Coffee prices in the last year has risen twice. So my wholesale price is like $6 to what it was before. So I've had to increase it by 50 cents, which is not even much, but in the long game, it helps.
Does your coffee profit, is it the same if you were to use almond milk, if you use normal milk? Is pretty much, if I get a cappuccino and someone else gets a long black, are you making the same sort of money for both?
It's very minimal. Like there's little increments. Obviously they're going to be exactly the same. But with the way we've done our costings, working with our wholesale partners, with coffee wholesale partners, we've come up with a good pricing plan and how we're going to have quite the same margins on each coffee. So that's why we have to charge extra 70 cents for almond milks, all the alternative milks.
And the craze at the moment, which is matches, which is ice matches, which is strawberry matches, all these different types of things. When you see these crazes come in, are the wholesalers inflating the prices of these crazes, or are you making much on like matches and iced lattes, things like that?
Well, I'm a believer of pricing what I feel it's worth, and it's really up to the customers to buy into that. Because if we're dictated by what others are doing and what we're going to lose. So it's probably not even worth it for us to do it. But I don't think they've raised the prices. I think we've just come on the time where I think they want to raise prices because it's such a big craze now. So who knows, in 6 months, these bunch of wholesalers might cash in and start raising prices. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
It's already expensive.
Yeah. Okay. One last coffee question before we move into more of the business stuff.
Yeah, sure.
How long do you think you need to teach a staff member to become a novice to like a pro barista?
Whoa, that's a great question.
So if I was to start a cafe, the cafe starts and I've got no baristas, I've got to train someone from the start. How long until they're like A grade?
One thing I know, if they don't have the passion for it, they'll never get there. That's as simple as that. But if I'll train someone that really wants to get there, I'll give them 2 to 3 months.
Wow.
Like just
thought,
intense. Like
Wow.
Because milk texturing is just not. You can't teach that in one day. You need time, and you need to hear it. You need to feel it. Me doing all that coffee stuff on Instagram. Even till now, I'm still tweaking and trying to get better. But if you want to be good at your craft, you need the passion, really love it, and I think in 3 months you can get there.
That's good. That's a good point.
Probably that's pushing it too.
That's pushing it. All right, I want to ask a branding question.
Sure.
T&B branding, minimalist, very, 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 very on brand to you and Naked Barista and things like that.
Yeah.
So, in terms of branding, what advice would you give to a business owner trying to find their brand image, their branding itself? What advice would you give?
All I could say is to have a unique identity, something that they will remember your logo, your name, and it also helps if you've got like a story behind it as well. So I've told my story a lot. I think the first 3 months I was probably featured on a couple of papers, and so it's good. People love the story behind the name or the brand, and something that they'll remember when they do leave.
Where did the name The Naked Barista come from?
Well, obviously,
were you doing it naked?
No. I think the plan was to be never seen, to be that mystery guy on Instagram. Because my daughters thought of the name, and they said, "Yeah, just don't show your face, Dad. Don't, just be a mystery man." But the whole point of the Naked Barista was like, I'm bearing all. Like, I'm not going to hide anything. All the processes I do, I'll show them how the tricks are, all the tips and tricks. I'll be open about it. And I had a flood of questions on my Instagram. If you look at my inbox, there's like literally 1,000 people that's messaged me asking for tips.
Yeah, man.
So that was the point of the Naked Barista. Yeah.
In terms of, I'm going to pivot here because something we both can relate on. You working with family, so you've got one daughter here?
Yeah, my middle.
Yeah. Anyone else working in the cafe?
My wife now, because she got made redundant last year, so she's doing the admin, the back end, and helping on weekends. Yeah.
What advice would you give to other business owners working with family? How do you make sure that the water doesn't get muddied between home life, work life?
I think we have to separate that. So Mondays is usually our day off where we put focus on the business admin wise and our strategy for the week. But once 5 o'clock hits, it's family time and we don't talk about the business. And we make sure that we take breaks and we're not about the business 100% of the time because it can be consuming, especially when issues are starting to pop up. But I think having different roles and everyone knows what their lane is in the business is going to help, or else we're just going to keep stepping on our toes. Like me and my wife nearly hit each other on our first business because we were trying to do everything together and we had different opinions and everything. So we made sure this time we have our own lanes. You stick to this, you stick to that, and we just run with that. Yeah.
What's it like seeing Bella develop as not only a barista, but I can sort of see her starting to manage staff and things like that. What's it like as a father seeing
honestly,
that?
it's I could say it's a dream come true. Sounds funny, but yeah, I'm just so happy that I haven't had to force her or make her do it. She's found a little passion that she loves.
Yeah.
It's even related to the degree that she's done in psychology. So she loves dealing with people. So she's just sort of found her feet here. And since finishing uni, the business has taken off. She's put a big focus on the business, and it's growing. So there's a lot of benefit in her loving it. So
Have you always wanted to run a business?
I think me and my wife, yeah.
Back when you were 9 to 5, were you thinking I want to run a business one day, or were you, when you were in 9 to 5, you're like, nah, I'm pretty good at the moment?
Honestly, in the back of my mind, I always wanted to have a business, whether it was online. I was always thinking business. But I was pretty comfortable with my 9 to 5. It was paying well, paid the bills. It was regular. I like consistency. I like routine a bit.
Yeah.
But because when I first opened here, the first 3 months, I was like, what the heck am I doing? What did I do? I just ruined a good thing. But then, yeah, now I'm seeing the fruits of the hard work at the start. So
Yeah, mad.
yeah.
Another question I had straight off the bat is, like, we both have businesses in Rooty Hill. You're here, I'm on the other side of the train tracks. What would you say about the Rooty Hill community for your business? Like, it's been magic for you, and you've really brought the community together.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I think, honestly, because I know there's been how many cafes on this side that hasn't survived. I think people have been crying out for a community cafe, and I think they finally got one. And that's what I was wanting for this area and for this spot. I live down the road in Minchinbury, so I know that people are longing for a community cafe, a place they can chill, relax, meet up, catch up, and I think it's been long overdue. So I'm glad to have provided the community with that.
I think it's similar to us. There's no martial arts gyms in the local area. Place for kids to, get out of school, like get out of the stresses of school, stresses
100%.
from home. So the community is definitely longing for it.
Yeah.
The problem with Rooty Hill and our other areas that we have gyms, Liverpool, things like that, is it's expensive, and cost of living's going up. It's hard. So I think you found that sort of sweet spot with a cafe where people can afford it, and they can come in, they can get away from their problems, enjoy, meet you guys, meet Bella and your family, which is a good little thing. Coming towards the end of the pod, I'm going to ask you 2 scenarios and try and think back to both, and give me your best sort of memory. First, give me your worst day in business. Your worst ever day in business.
Worst ever day. I think there was one day, because weekends are our busiest. It was a Sunday. I'm usually at church on a Sunday. I think 3 people called in sick. So I was at church, got the call that they were just getting absolutely slammed. So I told my wife, Bella, we got to go. we drove down 15 minutes, and it was chaos. It was manic. I think that day we had like 2 or 3 negative reviews from wait times. Food, like the kitchen was struggling because we were down staff in the back of house, front of house. It was a tough day, and I pride myself on providing good service. Like, I don't mind if food's taking a bit longer. Obviously, it's going to get busy, but I pride myself on looking after customers, and that was a tough day because we were scrambling. Getting all those negative reviews hurt.
Yeah, those suck.
Yeah, they hurt. So, that was probably the toughest day, and I think the week before we got broken into as well. So
did you?
Probably the toughest week.
Like just glass and that?
It was my fault. I left the back door open.
Oh, damn.
So, yeah. But luckily it wasn't a bad thing. I think it was just more of the invasion of privacy.
Yeah.
And the fact that we got broken into.
That's happened to us as well.
Yeah.
Back at our Preston's location, it got broken into, and it was weird. They took things that you shouldn't take, like trophies. Like, what are you gonna do with trophies?
You're gonna rebadge them.
Yeah, you're gonna rebadge them, like trophies and medals and lots of pictures, and it was just random. So that it would be fine if they just took the till.
Yeah.
But that was a bit hard. And then on the other end, give me your best ever day in business.
I think it's one of the more recent ones. We had it was Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah.
So on the Saturday, we hit record sales. It was like, can't say the figure, but it was nearly triple of what we normally do. I thought there was no way we could ever reach a figure like that. But my team was killer. They smashed it out of the park. To where it is now to what it was a year ago, my team's amazing. And then I was there on a Saturday because the family's usually here on a Saturday. We were like, we killed it. Mad Saturday. I don't think Sunday's going to be like that. And my whole family went there on the Sunday. It was Mother's Day.
Yeah.
But we were fully booked. So everything was in place. I put heaps of staff on to make sure that we'll be covered. And then Sunday hit and we smashed that record again. And I was so proud of my staff. I think I was more proud of how my staff handled it and how amazing the service was, more than what we earned that day. Like, yeah, I was so proud of my staff. That was like my happiest day in the cafe.
That's bad.
Mother's Day that recently passed. Because my staff, and they looked happy and they were happy. I asked them how they were. They were happy that they achieved that too. So
you've been in business 3 years?
3 years.
How would you say you've mastered the sort of systems of things? Because you can be a barista, like you can be the best barista in the world, but the day you're not here, you need to be able to sleep knowing that your baristas are good. So like, I know that systems are everything in business, but how long did it take you to develop the systems? And like, do you have any advice for cafe owners or owners in general to build the system for your business?
I think I wouldn't even say my system's perfect, but you can always, like, I would never stop trying to improve it. Like, that's one advice I would give is, if you think you're doing well, keep improving. Like, keep trying those little 1%ers to make it better. Like, I'm not saying my staff aren't good enough. I'm just saying system-wise, always keep thinking ahead of how you can make it better. Because once you rest on your laurels and content, that's when quality will just keep dropping. So, yeah, I'm constantly on my staff in a good way. Yeah. And just reminding them of, keeping the shots perfect. Chuck it out. Like, I'm a believer of, if you've done your milk crap, just chuck it out. Because they'll come back if the milk is amazing. They won't come back if it's crap. There's a big benefit of people coming back. So, I think once they know that culture, once you've set that culture, they should be able to run with it and do well.
Can you give me a day in the life sort of thing of running the business? So like, let's say what's your busiest day? Like a Saturday?
Saturday.
Yeah, give me like a Saturday, Adrian's Saturday.
Wake up at 6, have a good shower. It's important to have a good shower in the morning. Feeling fresh. Rock up 30 minutes before opening. Be in a good headspace. I think being in a good headspace is good. Setting the vibes early with the team. And just being ready is the most important thing. If you're rocking up late, like I've done it before, I'm guilty, it sort of sets you up for a loss for the day, But if you're coming in ready, stock's ready, you're prepared. So once 7 o'clock hits, we're on really prepared, smashing customer service and organised. So. And that'll travel all the way till like 1:30, 2 o'clock.
What time do you finish?
We close at 3.
Yeah.
Food closes at 2. But mornings go so quick because it's so busy. Next thing you know, it's already like 1 o'clock. So, yeah.
Something that I talk about a lot with my business coaching clients and things like that is the lonely chapter. So you start your business, everyone's supporting you, everyone's there. Yeah. But then when you're actually in the thick of it, that middle stage where you're not earning enough money to pay yourself, you're barely making enough money to pay your staff, that sort of lonely chapter in the middle there. Yeah. There's so many people in there right now. what got you through? What was the thoughts that got you through that middle stage instead of going back to your 9 to 5? What was that thing that pushed you through that business barrier?
I think what helped me, I sought advice because I was new to this whole thing. So when I found the advice, probably the advice I could give now is review everything. Review your costings, negotiate all your suppliers. I'm not saying to reduce the quality, but you can negotiate all those. If you can save 1% in like 10 areas, that's thousands of dollars you're saving already. So yeah, I did that. I reviewed everything. I even changed coffee suppliers at one stage.
Oh, wow.
But I didn't reduce the quality. I just negotiated an amazing deal. Because obviously at the start, I just got whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
So negotiate all the 1%ers everywhere. Wages will be wages.
Yeah.
You can't really tell them you're going to pay them less. I even stopped paying myself for a bit just to help. But yeah, it's all the costs.
Mentally, how did you
Mentally,
deal with it? Because it can mess you up.
It can mess you up. But I think mentally, I didn't do it alone. Like, I had my family supporting me. I made sure Bella knew about it. I made sure my wife is across everything. But just be open. Don't run it by yourself. Don't keep it all in. Get advice. Like, ask people around that's in business too. Like, don't be like too prideful to ask for help. And I did that, and I think learning from all these other people that have done well, it's nothing wrong with asking them, and that's helped. So we're seeing the fruits of that now, saving all those 1%ers everywhere. So
yeah. That's awesome. To wrap it up, what's one piece of business advice someone's given you that's stuck with you?
I think,
or something you've read or seen, something that's your ethos.
Yeah, I think winning a customer, especially in the cafe scene, one customer that comes back every day equates to like between 10 to 20,000 a year. That one customer can spend that much in a year. So if you can constantly keep winning repeat customers, that's just going to keep building your earnings for the year. But obviously you got to do it in the right way, where you've kept them as like basically like family and treat them like family. That's what they're going to come back. Like, I remember going to a cafe where I was working in the city. They didn't have the best coffee. It was still good coffee, but it wasn't the best. But I went back to them every day because they knew my name. They remembered my order. I would just give them a little wink and they were like, yep, gotcha. And I was like, that was the best. I came back because of that. So I think little things like that can grow your business exponentially. And it showed from 15 kilos to 50 kilos now. That's the one advice. That's just one out of many advices, but that one stuck with me a lot. Yeah, to grow the business, yeah.
Well, we've had Adrian on the pod. He's not a random guest. We're me and my brother, we're here pretty much every week when we're in our gym in Rooty Hill. Thanks for servicing our members so well. All of our members, they all rock up.
Love you guys.
They all rock up on a Saturday morning with their TMB coffees.
I love it.
They do their long walk from the other side of the tracks all the way over here. It's worth it. The kids are starting to get their matches. So appreciate your time. Like, congratulations on everything you're doing. Like, I just look in and staff are smiling, customers are smiling. There's a guy doing work over there, there's two people catching up over there, there's a family catching up over there. Like, there's something for everyone, and I think you've done really good, man. And whatever you do in the future, let us know. You can find Adrian on socials, Naked Barista or TMB Cafe. If you're in Rooty Hill, you have to try it out. It's the best coffee I've had. I'll drive an hour and a half from home for this coffee. But appreciate you. Appreciate coming on for How's Business, bro.
Thanks for your support.
First pod done, huh?
Yeah.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks, man.